What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm Paul. This is Pauline Theology's Daily Devo. I'm back, and we are still in Judges, and we are on the last part of the Jephthah saga. And the spiral continues with the people of Israel and with Jephthah himself. We see him doing and leading his people to do things of a horrible nature. If you haven't read it yet, we're in Judges 12, 1 through 7. So go ahead and read, stop the tape right now, and then come back and we'll get into it. So we do here every time we jump on the podcast is, first off, we got to see what's actually happening in the story, the way we can retell the story so we can know what's going on. And then second, we see who God is in the story. And then third, we check out who man is in the story, like what is known about man. And then finally, try and find an application after these truths that we have ascertained from the story. So let's go ahead and do it. What actually happened? What occurred? Well, it looks like after the war, Ephraim again, man, they got mad at Gideon, and now they mad at Jephthah. But they said to him, why didn't you not let or call us to help you fight these oppressors, man? We wanted to help out. And since you didn't call us, we gonna burn your house down, man, with you in it. they tough, man. They gonna literally burn his house down with him in it because he didn't call them to go to war and help them. Well, Jephthah says there's another story going, because he said, I did call you, man, whenever they came against me, and you didn't do anything. You didn't answer the call. And so he's like, I put my soul on the line, man, went over there and did it myself. It's like, so why are you angry? And then after that, it says that Jephthah got his folks together, all the people of Gilead, man, and then they made war with the Ephraimites. And I think they called them names, called them like fugitives between the couple of tribes. It's like a slur or something. I read in a commentary that was something about giving them a slur, like calling them a derogatory name, that they were fugitives, that they weren't actually part of the people of Israel for whatever reason. And so because of that, man, they talking noise to them. Jephthah gone, took them out, man, and they won. It says that they got the fords of the Jordan. And then something happened. The ones who called them fugitives became fugitives. They ended up not being or prisoners or refugees, because they were stuck in the land of Gilead instead of back in Ephraim. And so some people was trying to cross over, and they asked them, let us pass. And then the people of Gilead said, well, say Shibboleth. And then when the Ephraimites spoke, they said Sibboleth. And so because they didn't say it right, they killed that fool. It says they seized him and slaughtered him. And then it says this whole situation that occurred or whatever, I think for the next 6 years, this whole situation, they ended up killing 42,000 Ephraimites, 42,000 of their own brothers because of this. And then it says after that, Jephthah died, and that his judge rule governing his reign over the people was 6 years. So what do we see about God in this story? Well, I think first we have to understand that God doesn't sit well with the mistreatment of his people. And I say this is because of the tenure that Jephthah had as ruler over the people, only 6 years. And so I think that is a part, a part and factor, because of his disdain for the Ephraimite people to slaughter them that way. Of course, it could be all of the other things, but I think that's one of the big reasons, is that God does not sit kindly with the mistreatment of his people. That is not what he is about. What does this say about man? What can we get from the story about man? I think what we see really is the fact that when people stray further from God, when their hearts and their eyes aren't fixed on God and his beauty, then we begin to malign, hate, and destroy each other. We've seen it, man. We saw it in the previous saga with Abimelech. We're seeing it now with Jephthah. Is that as the people are getting further and further away from the truths of who God is, his love and his mercy, and knowledge of him, and a walk in a faith that is completely and solely on him, then they begin to hate each other. They begin to kill each other. And that's tough, man. That's tough. So what can we learn from this? How can we apply these truths to our lives? Well, I think first off, we got to look at our relationship with our brothers and sisters in Christ, because this specifically, I think, is it's everybody. As you see the world, man, the world is getting further and further away from God as a whole, and you can see the anger, animosity that is building up between people. But I think this is super, super duper applicable, especially to the people of God. Because even then, if we look around each other, how is our relationship with each other? Because if we're not loving each other, caring for each other, bearing each other's burdens, lifting each other up, then it probably has something to do with the fact that we're not in his word. We aren't knowing God. We aren't following his principles. We're not trusting in his sovereignty, power, grace, and goodness. Yeah, we can look at the relationship between us and our brothers and sisters in Christ, and we can determine our status in our relationship with God. Man, I appreciate you guys for listening. And let's look at our lives, man, and see how we loving each other. It's so important, man. And if you're not loving the brother like you should, you got a hard heart towards him. Your brother, your sister in Christ. Anger and animosity is geared towards him. Then check your relationship with the one true King. Check your relationship with the sovereign God of all creation. Are you seeking his will? Because if you are, then you got to seek that reconciliation with that brother or sister. Christ said it himself. He said that if you're looking to make an offering to God and you got problems with your brother, go back, fix them problems, reconcile with that brother, and then come to me. I appreciate you guys for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.